Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I'm spitting. I hope you lot are all doing well, man. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News. That's right, the daily series right here on Football Therapy, where I go across football news media, see what's being said about the Blues, consolidate it into one manageable package for you, the viewer, giving you my opinion, but hey, mate, more importantly, asking for yours. Three subjects I want to talk about today. Kai Havertz, the Germanic sensation, returning to the Chelsea team, seemingly fit and poised, hopefully, to start tomorrow. Olivier Giroud has spoken out about his desire to leave Chelsea in January. He's spoken about it. Didier Deschamps has spoken about it. His agent is speaking about it, and Chelsea are likely to let the veteran leave in January. I want to talk about what Giroud said and what Chelsea could expect if we let him go. And also, I want to talk about Callum Hudon-Odoi. I want to actually pose a question to you, the viewer, asking, this is going to sound crazy because we've only got three wingers, should he be loaned? Lots to crack into, boys and girls. Get comfortable. Consider subscribing to Football Therapy if you're new to the channel. Daily uploads regarding Chelsea FC. You might like it, mate. Do drop a like on this video because it helps me out a lot. It's a good way of showing your support. Follow me on Instagram for exclusive nudes. Alright then. Let's get into it. Right then, let's start with Kai Havertz. He's of course been absent due to having to self-isolate after testing positive for the virus. He's now tested negative and he's been training and he's good to go. Frank Lampard was questioned about his fitness and is he likely to be included in the Champions League midweek. Frank Lampard came out and said, you know what, I'm hoping he can, yes, sounding very positive about the whole situation. He said he's looking fit, he keeps fit by himself, he's a very fit boy, he's in good shape, apparently. So, by the sounds Frank Lampard's making, he's likely to start in midweek, and that'll be good. Rennes will be a good game for him to be reintroduced. Hopefully he can express himself on the pitch a little bit, you know, get a little bit more comfortable with his teammates who are now all more comfortable with each other. Chelsea as a whole sort of team at the moment are developing and getting more acquainted to each other's movements, you know, teammates that make certain runs. Chemistry, on-pitch chemistry is what I'm sort of trying to get at here. So dropping Kai into a more comfortable environment, hopefully he can express himself more and who knows, score or assist in the Rennes game should he start. Right, so that's some big positive news. Chelsea's record signing, hopefully future talisman, is fit and raring to go. Let's move on to the next story. Olivier Giroud, the World Cup winning Frenchman who is a good footballer. I should have thought about what I was going to say before I said it. We all know Giroud's been frustrated and you can understand why. He's the third choice striker at Chelsea, yet he's the first choice striker for France, the world champions. Didier Deschamps has come out and pretty much said, dude, you got to be playing football. As much as I love you, if you're not playing football, you can't start for France. Giroud and his agent have spoken out on this. I'm pretty sure his agent says, yeah, that we got to move you, dude. And Giroud spoke to Telefoot and he had this to say. It's true that I felt I still had a role to play in this Chelsea team, especially after ending last season very well and contributing to the team's Champions League qualification. At the start of the campaign, I thought I could still help the team, but my playing time has gone down significantly. So that will need to change or I'll have to make a decision. You can totally understand why Olivier Giroud is saying this. Third choice striker, he wants to play football, he's in like the autumn years of his career. Totally understand, and to be honest, I think he probably should go and get a move. I really love Giroud, man. I think he's he is the world's best target man. He still can get the odd goal as well. Considering how many starts he's got to goals, his ratio isn't that bad at all. The problem is, for me, if you look at Chelsea's options at the moment, Timo Werner, when he plays down the middle, he's probably our most prolific gunman. But if you look at what Tammy Abraham's offering playing as the 9 at the moment, he can't hold up the ball as well as Giroud. Sure, he probably can't convert chances as good as Timo Werner, but he's somewhere in the middle of both, and Giroud's too slow to offer a bit of both. Do you see what I mean? Tammy's got a lot more assists, he's scoring, yeah, he's holding the ball up a lot better and, you know, winning aerial duels. It's almost like he's learned enough from Giroud to hold down that spot as the sort of first/second choice striker, depending on whether Christian Pulisic is fit. Now, if you want a bit more information on that, I urge you to go check out my video that I did yesterday talking about who starts, Tammy or Pulisic, changing the look of the front three. But anyway, back to this. You can understand why Frank Lampard at the moment preferences Werner or Tammy Abraham, although I'm sure Frank Lampard really does value Olivier Giroud for what he's done for him in terms of the goals he scored, helping Chelsea get into the top 4 last season. Frank Lampard loves and appreciates Giroud, but I can kind of understand why he's not playing him for the moment. And with that, Giroud deserves a January transfer to ensure his place in the France team. David Ornstein of The Athletic reported on this in his column, and he spoke about how Chelsea are likely to allow the Frenchman to go, even though they'd like to keep him as their backup third striker with great quality. They're likely to let him go as a sort of thank you for your great service, FA Cup, Europa League, top 4 last season. Giroud has been excellent for Chelsea, and as a reward, they will sort of release him, making them slightly more vulnerable, similar to what they did with Cesc Fabregas. Sort of a thank you for helping us out. Yes, go get your move, go get your football, go get your France starting spot back. So I get it. That's kind of how I feel. I kind of understand. Let me know how you feel, of course. Make sure you comment down below and tell me your thoughts on this story. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic of today's video. Now, Callum Hudon-Odoi, an absolute star boy, superb talent. I think most of us would agree on that. I certainly am a big fan of the player. Now, I'm honest, this is not a news story. I want to speculate on something that Glen Hoddle talked about loaning Hudon-Odoi. Because at first, I was repelled by the idea, like, why would we loan Hudon-Odoi? But I can understand why, for the player, this could be the best thing. Obviously, I want to keep him. I want him to be a massive player for Chelsea moving forwards. But he's so talented and these years are so important for him. He needs to be a starting winger at a Premier League team, in my opinion, certainly a top European team. Genuinely needs to be a starting winger. And at the moment, provided everyone is fit at Chelsea, he just isn't. You know, Pulisic was going to start on the left, and maybe Werner, and Hakim Ziyech, of course, will start on the right. Now, him coming in as a third choice winger is, of course, great quality. But you don't want your third choice winger to be a developing teenager who's, 20, he's 20 now, isn't he? So a developing young player who needs to be starting. He needs to be starting. Imagine if he was starting game in, game out for a mid-table Premier League team, getting goals, getting assists, getting really acclimatised to the Premier League more and more and more. That would be excellent for his development. Even if it's a 6-month loan in January, but I understand we're not in a position to do that because we don't have any wingers. Really, for me, it's just so frustrating, because if we're going to play a third choice winger, fourth choice winger, they need to be a bit more rotational level, maybe a little bit more senior, that are slightly more developed, and they're sort of, at Chelsea for one reason or another. But Callum Hudon-Odoi, he needs to be playing as much as possible, in my opinion. Maybe Frank has great designs to get him in soon and start games, I don't know. But imagine he was starting for a Southampton week in, week out, or something like that level of team and getting goals. It would be so good for him, and then maybe Chelsea signed Saïd Benrahma and not West Ham, and he could be this rotational winger from both sides, and then we could play someone else out on, on the flank as well. So I understand how it's not feasible at the moment, but really if you look at the player's development for him, for what's best for him, consider it to his development, you think he needs to be starting a Premier League game. So I'm not so sure. It made me think, Glen Hoddle saying that, and I thought I'd pose the question, because imagine if he had a season, Premier League football, got 9 goals, 8 assists, comes back to Chelsea, 21 years old, is a starter somehow. I don't know, for me, I just really want to see him develop and actually get numbers on his career tally, and not just be coming off the bench for Chelsea with 15 minutes to go. I might be wrong. Like I said, Frank Lampard might have designs to start him in Champions League games, FA Cup games, from what we one injury away from maybe starting him, or maybe Mason Mount on the wing. Anyway, you see what I'm saying, man. So I want your thoughts and opinions on this. Yes, this is not a match preview for the Rennes game, by the way. I was going to do that today, but really, I just figured it's not that huge a game. Yes, it's important. I think if we win, we can maybe qualify, or pretty much have it in the bag. But still, I just didn't feel it today. I wanted to talk about these news stories regarding Giroud and, Kai Havertz returning. For me, that was the biggest story that I could have done in a match preview, the return of Kai Havertz. So we'll see what happens. Of course, I'll do a match review straight after the game tomorrow. I'll be, really looking forward to that. But I won't do a match preview for today. So feel free to leave your score predictions for the Rennes game down below. Comment on all the stories I've spoken about. Express yourselves. Please do drop a like. Helps me out a lot. Consider subscribing if you're new, man. And if you do choose to do that, please do hit the bell, because it's really important to let you know when I upload, huh? Important. Anyway, mate, I'm out. So you lot enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living. I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double, silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.